Little entitled crab eats crab in aquarium store and mom defends him. Alright,
Ooh.
boys and girls. It's time for a this seems super unbelievable. But you can't.
Just
I
restart,
can't
restart,
read.
restart,
I can't
restart,
read. Alright, boys and
restart.
girls. This seems super unbelievable. But when you have been working in this pet trade as sales. Am I reading this right?
No, you're so bad. Let me read it.
Okay.
Little entitled crap eats crab in aquarium store and mom defends him. Alright, boys and girls, this seems super unbelievable, but when you have been working in the pet trade as a sales associate for long enough in weird areas, you start to see your fair share of entitled kids and crap-stained parents. My first of many stories, so don't be too harsh. For context, I work at a mom and pop pet store in the eastern U.S. While my expertise is in aquatics, I tried to be a jack of all trades. The day that this happened was rather uneventful until this point. All up until little crap LS and and Big Fricker entered the store. My store is pretty modest, so it was fairly easy to see customers come in and out, especially in the fish department. So I got first look at this magnificent creatures. A 40-something-year-old woman talking on her cell, her hair obviously dyed blonde and outfit practically screaming midlife crisis, while her child was in tow. What? The kid must have been 7 or 8. The kid was playing on a Switch. His shirt was covered in what looked like a mixture of pizza sauce, soda, and plenty of mystery stains. At first, things were pretty normal. The kid originally not caring about anything in the store, while PF wasn't getting enraged at him for not paying attention. Though he changed rather fast. PF and LS were near the ferrets when PF took LS's Switch, immediately causing a reaction of some screaming and pouting before being distracted by some of the fish over in my department. Alright, a bit of unnecessary information, but the way my store's fish department is set up is that 2/5 of it is freshwater, 2/5 is equipment, and the rest is saltwater. Given we weren't really known for saltwater, we only kept pretty generic yet sought after fish like hippo tangs, various clownfish, 6-line wrasses, etc. The thing about the first two is because of Finding Nemo. Kids are always drawn to the Dories or the Nemos. Alright, that all in mind, the first thing LS did was head over to the small assortment of hippo tanks we had. Practically pressing his crap-covered face against the glass as he yelled out, "Dory!" as loud as he could. PF hailed me down from algae scrubbing, and this started the encounter. I like to act casual around the workplace as I find it lowers any sort of anxiety a customer has and makes me way more approachable. First thing out of my mouth was, "Hey there, how's your night going? Need help with something?" PF started out our encounter with a roll of the eyes before pointing to the tang and demanding a price with the simple but rude,
How much for this thing?
was the way she said it. It was rude. After shifting gears from a casual standing to a more professional one, I simply told her that the tang was $160. Oh my gosh. Jeez, that's expensive for a fish.
A good sized tang, okay? He was a good sized tang.
It better be a good sized tang for $160. Of course she scoffed, but what came next was a bit more worrying. PF pulled out $30 from her purse and placed it on the desk we used to bag fish, saying in an aggravated tone,
"That's how you're getting. Bag him."
She thinks she's gonna win him over with like $130 less than what it costs.
Dude,
she's just like, this is like the worst ultimatum. This is the worst ultimatum.
It's a great tang, okay? She wants the nice tang.
Things started to go poorly from here. It's worth noting that it was 9:15 at this point. The store had been closed 15 minutes ago, though we make it a policy not to ask customers to leave until 9:30. It was just my manager and myself at this point. My manager in the office closing down registers, so essentially, it was like I was the only employee in the store. Seeing PF placing $30 on the table, I raised an eyebrow before leaning against the wall and simply asking her, "Do you have a saltwater tank?" She didn't take this well. She screamed without a second passing,
"None of your forking business! Now bag my fish, you cocky little shit!"
I simply refused and slid her $30 back towards her before she slid it back, now more pissed off.
"I'm going to get your ass fired if you don't bag my fish right now!"
At this point, LS was getting pissed at the interaction, screaming like a banshee about how he wanted the tank, still referring to it as Dory, and began to stomp his feet in a tantrum. Soon enough, I was asking them to leave. So this is where I fricked up. I should have called the cops at this point, knowing that she wasn't going to leave without a fight. LS was on the floor at this point, pounding his fist to the as snot dripped down his face as PF tried to guilt me.
Sorry, sweetie. This guy doesn't want you to have the fish. He's perfectly fine with you having no fish friend to make you happy.
At this point, she turned back up to me.
Do you see what you did, you stupid fuck? You're breaking my angel's heart because you're being too much of a Jew. So, a little insight. I'm Jewish, and I called him a Jew, which is ironic because I'm Jewish. Just tell me
Internally, I was laughing. This kind of situation happened now and again, but the anti-Semitism was a new one. I'd figure everything was starting to resolve at this point. I thought it was my mistake. I thought it was mistaken. LS flipped crap. You know how some opera singers can break glass with their voice? This kid would have a knack for something like that. LS was screaming as loud as humanly possible at this point as he managed to reach into the tank. At last, my manager had made his way over out of the office, watched what was going on. LS grabbed a piece of live rock, accidentally grabbing a long-spined urchin. Angrily screaming, turned right to wails of pain as he pulled a rock out of the tank, a poor little pom-pom crab in tow. At this point, I was less focused on the kid, but more focused on making sure my manager was calling 911, which he did. When I turned around, I saw something that still gives me nightmares to this day. The kid had been clutching his hand while his mother tried to help him, something hanging out of his mouth. The poor little pom-pom crab had been crushed by the kid, LS having shoved it into his mouth and chomping down on it, leaving a little claw hanging out of his mouth.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my gosh! That's so... Dude, this kid is like the hellspawn.
This is the Entitled Parents subreddit.
I mean, good point. The next 2 minutes was a strange combination of astonishment and panic. Myself telling the kid not to move his hand since he would break the spines of the urchin, while PF began hitting me with her crappy purse, screaming that I hurt her kid. Your kid shoved his hand into a tank, one with toxic animals nonetheless. Foxface rabbitfish for reference, and did this to himself. Calm the frick down and leave him alone so when the paramedics get here they can get the spines out.
How dare you! You expect me to let my little angel suffer? If you just showed me the stupid fish, this would have never happened.
Your kid reached into the tank and ate a crab. What the frick did you teach this kid?
Don't you ever tell me how to raise my angel. He had the right to eat crab. You took something from him, and he took something from you.
She's acting. He had the right to eat that crab. You took something from him. Dude, he took something from you.
28th Amendment. The right to eat crabs out of fish tanks.
That should be just the title. He had the right to eat that crab.
28th Amendment.
By the end of this interaction, the paramedics had arrived, restraining the kid and taking him into an ambulance as the police tried to sort things out. Unsurprisingly, PF tried to pin everything on me, saying I threw an urchin at him, and he ate the crab in a panic. Wait, hold on, pause. Who would eat a crab in a panic?
Little shit, obviously. This little shit would.
Equally unsurprisingly, we had the entire thing on CCTV, including PF hitting me with her purse. Long story short, PF was arrested for aggravated assault as apparently she had stuffed the rock into her bag to give it to the kid. To give it the extra punch. Oh, she stuffed the rock into her bag just to like make it hit harder. Didn't notice until after the paramedics saw me that I was bleeding on my leg from the jagged live rock. After getting a statement, the cops left. PF and LS going off to wherever the heck the cops took him, and I got out of everything with 8 stitches and a $300 bonus for my boss for handling the situation without getting anyone seriously injured. From what I ended up hearing, the kid
my angel is seriously injured. You're paying from this.
Just to clarify, she did not say that. It was just Kaz making crap up.
Edit.
From what I ended up hearing, the kid had actually gotten stung by the foxface's dorsal spines that sent him into a blind rage. The mom got a plea deal and she ended up with a huge fine, some jail time, and some other crap. In summary, I didn't sell EM a fish. Kid flipped crap. Grabbed the merchant and ate a crap. Okay, so this is basically just, yeah. This was 3 years ago now. I was in work the other day when I saw a pouting kid over by his mom, not letting him get a hippo tank. This has brought me to the front of my mind ever since. Okay, so that's the original story. We're not going to read the edits. We'll leave the link down below if you want to read the edits. I'm making Kaz do more work.
If I feel like it, but okay.
Yeah, so that's it. Upvote it. Be a nice human.
Kid learns the hard way to not steal drinks.
Inside one next time.
Consider yourself warned. Okay, among my many vices, gaming, etc., one that I have had for many years is my addiction to nicotine. Now, I'm not a smoker. Honestly, I hate the smell of all forms of smoke. I use smokeless tobacco, better known as snuff, chew, or dip, depending on where I am in the nation.
That was a sexy burp.
When you use this stuff, you spit sometimes quite a lot. Because of that, I have a habit of keeping old soda bottles handy. That way I can spit in the bottle and seal it. No worry about accidentally spilling it and making a mess. This also has the effect of sometimes making it easy to hide what I'm doing. I already see where this is going.
Oh, this is gonna be bad.
I never expected it because trouble and humor. So, a couple years back, I was taking a cross-country trip by bus. About halfway to my destination, I lay over in Denver. I had the following encounter. Dramatic,
EK is entitled kid.
And then TM is tired mom and me as me.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's start this.
Yes.
Taking a seat outside the bus station at a nearby store. As I sit down, I put my half full spit bottle beside me and start checking my phone.
EK pointing at the bottle. Gives me that.
What? Huh? Oh, no, you don't want that.
I want it. Give it to me. Yes, the kid actually said gib. Oh.
Gibber!
Gibber! Okay.
No, now shove off, kid. About this time, the kid ran over to his mother and said something. The lady came over my way and seemed nice. If very tired. Long bus rides will do that.
My boy says you won't give him the rest of your soda.
It's not so...
Well, I know full well what it is. Why don't you just, give it to him?
But...
Just give it to him.
At this point, I shrugged, gesturing the bottle. The liquid in it was dark as cola. Though I sure as hell wouldn't be as tasty. Mom smiled and thanked me. Taking the bottle and walking back over to her hell spawn. I decided to hang around and watch everything. The kid turns to me, flips me the bird, and then makes a show of opening the bottle and making a big gulp.
You could see his brain suddenly short circuit. Oh my gosh.
Gag reflex kicks in, along with the sudden need to swallow. I could tell that his mind was fighting with itself. Eyes the size of saucers. The gag reflex won, and he blew the liquid all over the front of his shirt, then pants. Then he started to dry heave, turning several interesting shades of color too. All the while the mom was watching him, patting his back, eventually carried him off in the direction of the restroom to be cleaned up. The kid looked at me. He'd never trust Coke ever again.
Oh my gosh.
I ended up speaking to the lady later. While we all were on the bus. Apparently, the grandmom had seriously spoiled the kid, giving him everything he wanted. Mom, for her part, was trying to teach him that the world wouldn't work that way. I think her little stunt with my spit bottle made a point. Eddie,
dude,
give me Reddit gold. Eddie, give me Reddit gold. Eh?
And thanks for the gold.
I need more dip. Okay.